Hello, writers. Welcome back to Sydney Brown, the Memoir Mastermind, Writing and Publishing for Beginners channel. Today, we're going to step out of the solitary writing room and immerse ourselves into the dynamic world of memoir writing conferences. So I want to real quick talk about the differences between the three things that you may attend. Now, in other video, I've talked about workshops. Workshops are the thing where you dive in. It may be a couple hours long, and you kind of it really is a learning experience that you're going to have a specific topic and you're going to learn it, and then you're going to go home and implement. Now, there's other things like the conferences that we're talking about now. Conferences can be, a couple days, a week, whatever it is. It's like a convention where you're going to go. Usually go somewhere. It's usually not going to be in your hometown because there's not necessarily, unless you live in a big city, there's not necessarily going to be a lot of writers who have the same mind, the same goals and stuff. So with most conferences, it's something you're going to travel to. You're going to probably, maybe stay in the same hotel where the conference is, and it's going to be more of an experience. And then there is what they call writing retreats, and this is like a vacation that you do writing. And that, of course, is going to cost you quite a bit of money in comparison to anything like a workshop or something. But, usually they all three will cost something. It's an investment in yourself. You decide what you want to do with each of them. But now that you kind of know the differences between the levels of, the workshop, the conference, and the retreats, now hopefully when I talk a little bit more about the conferences, we can actually dig in and you'll have a better understanding. But when you're attending a writing conference, it's really a powerful way to connect with others in the writing community. You'll learn from the industry experts. You'll gain exposure to different writing and publishing trends. And most importantly, you grow as a writer. That's the main reason you've gone, right? Memoir writing specific, those conferences will typically be more tailored to helping us navigate the unique challenges and the opportunities that come with, recounting and going through your personal stories and sharing those. So when you have conferences, it really does, it brings together authors and publishers, fellow memoirists from potentially around the entire world. Like it may be in New York or Atlanta or some major metropolis where you're going to travel from all over to go to this event. But you usually would have, keynote speakers, there are panel discussions, there's workshops. Remember we talked about the workshops. There's workshops in a conference, and pitch sessions, networking events, parties. All these things are geared toward providing you with knowledge, skills, connections, building that network that you need to craft your memoir and get it in the hands of the readers. It's an immersive experience. So let's dive deeper into the benefits of attending a memoir writing conference. And then I'm going to talk about the top 10 tips to ensure that you make the most of these writing conferences. So if you're ready, let's jump right in. The top 10 benefits for attending memoir writing conferences. So number one, and this is something that you can do without a conference, but you're totally immersed in doing it in a conference environment. And that's gain knowledge. You're absorbing a wealth of knowledge from the industry professionals through lectures, panels, workshops. You're just submerging yourself in all of the stuff. And it can be really exhilarating, the feeling of the exposure. And you may turn fangirl or fanboy a little bit because you may see familiar faces that have already succeeded beyond where you have, and it's exciting to be in that environment. So number 2, network. You want to make these valuable connections with other writers, agents, editors, and publishers. Now, I do publishing. I do professional editing, developmental editing, and I teach people how to be freelance writers, ghostwriters. I do all of these things because I found that as I was developing as a writer myself, these are all the things that I really I needed to find those people. And as big as the internet can be, sometimes you don't know who to trust. And so I paid and paid and paid for personal coaches for all of these things. And in doing that, I grew myself stronger. And that's my point here is when you invest in yourself, you become stronger, you can help other people, and that could also be a way for you to develop your own skills for income building, endeavors. But networking is a huge deal. Number 3, inspiration. You get to hear the stories that other people share. You get to listen to other memoirists, and you draw their inspiration from their journeys. You want to definitely have your own story, at least a slice of it, that you can share as well, because never underestimate the value that you have, that you can give other people as well. Number 4, feedback. Participate in critique sessions, gain the valuable feedback on your work, and it will, if you listen, if you absorb, and if you accept the feedback, it can take weeks, months, years off of the development of your skills and of your projects. Number 5, exposure. Stay updated on the current trends, practices in memoir writing and publishing, because when you're in a conference, really, they're going to talk about a lot of the news, a lot of the things that we wouldn't necessarily know anything about otherwise. And that's the really cool thing about it, because you're so in your silo, in your project, in your world. And when you go to a conference, you're able to learn this whole world of writing. And that's the fun part. Number 6, pitch opportunities. Now, a pitch opportunity can be intimidating, just hearing it, but there are people who literally, that's what they do. That is their whole job. And they some of them more than others, but they get pitched a lot. And the stories that they hear may sound all similar to each other. So you need to learn how to craft your pitch. And at the conferences, there's usually these pitch opportunities that you can get yourself in front of agents and publishers and do your pitch. They can also have workshops where they will teach you how to craft your own pitch. So it's a really great opportunity to craft, develop, and give your pitches. Number 7, skill development. Now, this should be obvious. That's why it's way down at 7, but it's important because when you attend workshops as a whole, you're going to strengthen your own skills. But in a conference, there's usually multiple workshops that you can attend. And sometimes you may get one workshop in 1 month, but when you're at a conference, you may get 10. workshops in that several days, all packed in there. So it's a really incredible opportunity to just totally immerse yourself in improving your skills. Number 8, market insight. Now, this is kind of like what I said with the news. When you're at a conference, you're able to learn about publishing process, how to effectively market your memoir, or to self-publish even. But the knowledge of going from taking it as your story to then taking it further into the publishing world, then that's something that you can definitely benefit at a conference. Number 9, motivation. Just the energy in those conferences, when you have so many people who are all excited about the opportunity that they're facing. It's a great feeling just for yourself, but just imagine that feeling that you put off, and say that there's hundreds of others going as well. It's just an amazing feeling, the energy, the vibe, the synergy. It builds your motivation. So if you're struggling with motivation, you definitely want to go to a workshop ASAP. But if you have the opportunity to go to a conference, heck yeah, get out there, and your motivation could be through the roof. And then number 10, community. You feel this sense of belonging and of connectivity with the community of like-minded writers. It doesn't matter if their story is the same as yours. That's not what we're talking about. They have the same quest, the same finish line is to get their stories out of them and to learn how to put it into a book form, and then ideally, maybe get it published. So when you're doing writing conferences, it can be a life-changing event. If you have not yet been to one, I urge you to do some research, go to a search engine and just look for, where and when the next conference is. It may be something you do once a year. It may be something you do once ever. Whatever it is, give it a try. At the very least, definitely stick with workshops any opportunity you can. And if you're hardcore into crafting your best stories, and you have the opportunity to go to a retreat, do some research on it, of course, but jump on that, because that is sometimes a once in a lifetime opportunity. But conferences are something that you absolutely want to grab onto. All right, guys, let's keep moving. All right, Sydney Brown back again. You are on the Writing and Publishing for Beginners channel, and we are talking right now about the top 10 tips for making the most out of a memoir writing conference. So one of the most important things to remember as you go to a conference is you're probably traveling, right? Because this is not likely to be something in your backyard. So make sure that as you prepare, you think ahead, and you really, number 1, plan ahead. You want to research as much as you can about the conference, the speakers that will be there, the sessions that will be available, and prepare accordingly. There are opportunities in the conferences that you don't want to miss. And if you didn't do your diligence of researching, you may miss out on a once in a lifetime opportunity. So make sure that you plan ahead and do your research. Number 2, participate actively. Now, you want to, every chance you can, be an active engager in the conversations, in the workshops, in networking events. Do be there. When I want to keep going on that. I don't know why exactly, but I feel compelled. This is an opportunity that you may not get, maybe ever again. So by staying in the shadows, I think because I can be an introvert, even though I don't seem like one, it's because I forced myself out of my shell. And when you force yourself out of your shell, out of your comfort zone, that's where the good stuff is. And I want you to embrace the opportunities that are in front of you. So participate actively. Don't be afraid. Don't I think that some of us are afraid we're going to sound stupid, or we're going to look stupid, or we're going to feel stupid. And just don't. Embrace it. Number 3, take notes. Now, sometimes, and I'm torn between saying this, I do want you to take notes every chance you can get, but also don't be taking notes over here and focused on just writing down what you're hearing, and at the risk of losing and not participating. You want to do first and then note as much as you can. If there is a replay, or a lot of the times they'll have videotapes, of the whole sessions. If there's opportunities to purchase those things in addition, then you need to do that, because anytime you can experience instead of taking notes, every time I would tell you to do the experience and buy somehow the replay, because you do want to not lose the opportunity in the notes, but absolutely don't have your head in a notepad when all of that is going on. Number 4, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask the questions. Don't think that you're going to sound like the dumb one, because I promise you, if everybody in that room was brilliant and 100% on track, they wouldn't be there. They're just like you. They're in the same boat as you. They may be at different levels, but they're on a journey. There's nobody there. Even the experts are still on their own journey. So understand that, and let your ego just be put aside. Ask the questions. Number 5, be open to feedback. Now, you may think that you're open to feedback, but when you write something, it kind of becomes your baby. And when someone tells you that your baby's ugly, you're like, wait a minute, you don't talk about my baby like that. You don't do it. But understand that this is not your baby yet. This is what's going to become your baby. This is a work in progress, and it's something that you need to be open to taking the feedback and hearing, whether they're experts or just other writers who are maybe at the same level as you. Just understand that everybody who gives feedback, they do it with love in their hearts. They're wanting to be helpful and productive, and they want to see you succeed. So when people give you feedback, as long as it's not, wow, that sucked. If someone says that, then you don't need to listen to them. That's not even feedback. If someone is giving you actual constructive criticism as feedback, then listen to it and digest it. You don't have to follow it. That's still your decision, but at least listen to it and determine, how does this feel? How does this resonate with me? Do I think that they understand my vision well enough to get where I'm going with the feedback that they've offered? Because sometimes they don't. And that's okay if you digest it and then set it aside. Just remember what they said, because that may feed something else in your future. Feedback is amazing, and you will become stronger with everything that someone tells you. I remember the first time, I'm just going to say this. I remember the first time someone gave me feedback, and I can't even remember exactly what it was or what they said, but she was very kind, and she said, wow, this is advanced writing. This is really great. And then I can't remember the details of what she said, but I would look at this and see if you can't improve this piece right here. And it was great feedback. And later, I because I had a replay of it, I rewatched it and I thought, wow, she was really kind. She was extremely, she gave great constructive criticism. She gave really solid feedback. And at the time, what I heard was, your baby's ugly. So I am going to tell you, there's something in us that we want to protect what we have birthed. Whether it's a child or whether it's writing, you want to protect it. So you have to be very aware of our illogical moments where we're on pure emotion, and don't get defensive, because I promise you, you're going to feel a certain sort of way about it. And you may think, well, you're an idiot. It doesn't matter what you think at the moment. You have to pull yourself down and be open to the feedback, because if they're giving you feedback, it's with a good spirit. They want to be helpful. So know that. And that is really probably my number one tip at any level of feedback, but especially if you're at a conference, because often people who have invested the money in going to a conference, they usually are more advanced. And it is something that I would recommend you listen. In fact, I would write down word for word what they wrote, record it, do whatever you can, because just know you may not hear it in the right way, even though they may have said it in the right way at the time. So go back and review feedback repeatedly if you need to, because sometimes we just have to let our guard down. Number 6, networking. Use the breaks between sessions and the social events and stuff to get to know the other people, get to know the other attendees, the professionals, the panelists. Network with them, become, on social media, connect with them, do what you can, because you are finding your future. If you're there and they're there, you're all focused on growth in this area. So absolutely, it would be a waste of an opportunity if you did not at least connect on social media, give each other your emails or something. If you're a private person and you don't want them to have your phone number or anything like that, that's fine. But get on social media with each other at least. Number 7, prepare your pitch. If there are pitch sessions, you need to have a pitch of some sort that you walk in the door with. Now, it may suck, and that's okay, but have something, because you don't want to be starting with nothing. You don't want dead air when you have, 20 seconds to pitch something. You don't want to have dead air where you're like, it's my story and I'm, don't do that. Have something. Know what your story is well enough, just at least to hit high level stuff, so that you don't have to have the perfect pitch, but you got to have something. Usually in a conference, you at least have some sort of a workshop where you can maybe prepare a pitch. So come in with your crappy one and be prepared to leave with a polished one. But at least walk in the door with something. Number 8, respectful critique. Now remember, you don't want anyone telling you that your baby's ugly, but logically that they're trying to be helpful. So if the roles are reversed and you are now the one offering the critique, don't be the person that tells them that their baby's ugly. Find a way, because they're still going to hear that. And you know that they are, because when the roles are reversed, you know how it feels. So make sure that what you say is soft. Don't say it's nice. Don't say it's great. Don't say, if it sucks, don't, there's a way, and you practice it. You do have to practice this, because in here, you're gonna think what you're gonna think. But what you can say is, I wonder if, and use those things that, like the person who did mine, she said, this is really advanced writing. This is really great. I wonder if you could work on this area right here and maybe make it a little stronger language, and because I'm still, I still heard, oh, strong language, because you're still going to get defensive, just because it's kind of in our nature to be like that, because we don't want to think that something that meant something to us is not really, really great. So just like you have to work on letting your guard down on taking critique, make sure when you're giving critique that you learn how to be honest, fair, and soften the edges just a little bit, so that, because you don't want to hurt them. You don't want to squash their motivation. You don't want them to feel less than, because it's probably got amazing potential at the very least. And if that's all you can say about it is potential, then say that. Don't ever say this sucks. Say, you know what? I see where you're going with this. This has great potential. I think that maybe you want to look at structure, look at this, and just, kind of delve in, give them one or two places where they can jump into and get started. But being respectful in your critique is very important. Number 9, follow up. You've met a lot of people when you're at your conference. Follow up afterwards. Get on the social media. You made friend connections. Get in Messenger. Talk to them. Say, I had such a great time. This was so fun. I hope that I don't lose touch with you now that we've met, because meeting you was a great experience. Whatever it is, follow up. Make sure that they know that they added value to your experience, and hopefully, they'll say the same thing to you. Number 10, have some fun. Just enjoy your time. Like I said, don't put your face in taking notes all the time. Look up. See what's around you. This is an amazing, potentially once in a lifetime experience. Get out there, enjoy, learn, and make some friends. So that's what really matters. Writers attending a memoir writing conference can be a game-changing experience. It's a significant step toward honing your craft, understanding the industry, and establishing valuable connections. So at the heart of every conference, people are there because they love stories. You went there, you're going there because you love stories. You love telling stories. You love reading stories. You're the same. You have this connection. So keep learning, make those connections with people, keep networking, and keep writing. All right, we will see you in the next video. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. It helps me keep the content free. And I hope that you will take a look in the description. The I Remember When Memoir Writing Project is a 1-year project that we will walk you through and give you schedules. We will help you learn through all of these videos, as well as a private Facebook group and a public Facebook group. We will also have approximately monthly workshops where you will dig in and really, learn as well. So I hope to see you soon, and keep on writing.